Hey guys, Tread Millionaire here. I've spent the last couple of days watching my 600-Pound Life episodes. I love that show. It resonates with me on a ridiculous level, like I'm sure it would with several of you. Amber's story probably is the most closely related to my own, and I cried like a baby watching her episode. It broke my heart because it hit so close to home, and one of the things that I've noticed about that show when I watch it is that all of those people have an enabler in some way, and I'm different from that because I don't believe that I had an enabler. I believe that I was my own enabler. I used to take from my parents and go and buy things at the store when I was 7 years old, and from the age of 7, get off the school bus and go and get food and lie and do other deplorable things to get my hands on food. And it was a crazy level of anxiety if I couldn't get my hands on food or any level of comfort. And I used to hoard food in my room. I would have blocks of chocolate under my bed. I would have all sorts of food everywhere. And recently, when I returned back to my hometown, I went into my cupboard and I actually found one of my old stashes of wrappers. Just, it was literally hundreds of ice cream wrappers and chocolate bar wrappers that I'd stuffed in this massive like country road bag over the years, and it was just an immense sense of shame and sadness that I felt that way and that I needed to mask the pain by eating, because people have their own ways of dealing with anything, everything, whether it's drinking, whether it's drugs. Mine was eating. I don't drink alcohol and I don't take drugs, and I never have, and it was food that was really my demon. And these people on this program talk about food addiction, and whenever I talk about that with people in my real life, except for my parents and immediate family, people don't believe that food addiction is a real thing. It is a real affliction. It truly is. The feeling that I used to have when I couldn't access food was like that of withdrawal and a massive overwhelming sense of I have to have it. Like, I have to have it. I'm going to die if I don't have it. And the anxiety that I felt if I couldn't get my hands on something that could just, like, it was not that I've ever tried drugs, but it was like that when you see somebody in a film have a hit of heroin and just that relief, that's what that was for me. And to have that removed from my life after this surgery was extremely difficult, and something that I still deal with today, because I have realized that eating food will not solve my problems. It will not solve the reason that I am very upset, or if somebody has left me or hurt me or done something to me, that's not going to fix it. And it has taken me 5 years to realize that food is not going to fix me or solve my problems. And it's one of the hardest things that I've ever had to learn. And watching that show has given me a real insight into the lives of these people, and realizing that I was not alone, because I felt exactly the same way that a lot of these people do. I mean, granted, I never got to the point of being immobile. I could still drive and walk and do these sort of things, but I had great trouble getting out of bed, getting out of chairs, or doing anything like that. And being the age of 18 and not being able to get out of a chair or out of your own bed is one of the most humiliating things in the entire world. To not be able to live. And I'd never shopped in a store with normal clothes. Like, when I was a young, teenage girl, I couldn't go to Supre or any of those, stores that young girls went to. I couldn't fit in any of those stores. And I used to go in there, and the shop assistants, which I'm sure so many of you experience on a daily basis, look at you like, what the fuck are you doing in here? We don't have anything for you in here. And the look of disgust and repulsion on the faces of people that were around you that didn't even know you just humiliated me every single day of my life. And living like that was absolute torture. It was just horrible. I had a running track in my head for every single person that passed me on the street or in the store, and thinking, what are they thinking? What are they thinking? And I used to look at the floor and walk, because I couldn't bear to look at people staring at me, because it happened so often. And even when I started my journey after my surgery, I used to still get abused from people's cars, or people yelling out insults when they don't even know you. It's just unbelievable. Like, I would never do that to anybody ever, in any circumstance whatsoever, no matter what they look like or who they are. And for somebody to do that based on my appearance alone, to reduce me to nothing but a name and insult, was just one of the most humiliating and horrible experiences of my life. And I honestly believe that it is a miracle that I'm still alive at this point, because the amount of times that I wanted to take my own life and had to go on antidepressants and really try and save myself, because I had nowhere left to turn at that point. And the turning point was the realization that I had nothing. I was already dying. I was already dead. I didn't have a job. I didn't have friends to go and see. I didn't have clothes to fit into, except for, massive size 26 shirts and stretchy pants. And what kind of a life is it to be 18 years old and to be so ashamed of your appearance that you can't even leave the house? That's no life at all. And if you are a big girl or a big boy and you love the way that you look, and you were bigger than I am, or smaller, or whatever, then fucking congratulations. I wish that I felt as wonderful about myself as you do about yourself. It was just, I just couldn't deal with the way that I looked, and I was so unhappy that it was just, I couldn't live anymore. So I decided to change everything, and here I am today.